Hey everyone, this is Raymat007, and kind of want everyone's been if you warp to Minas Tirith, which I'm already there, but I'll just show you Minas Tirith. Immediately you'll notice, well, besides villagers running loose. Hey, what's up, buddy? Let's see what you got. Not worth it. Let's see what else you got. Nothing. Anyway, so immediately to your left, you'll see this map that I kind of mentioned in previous videos, but well, in the last video I definitely went over the map. And this is just a map of Minas Tirith. So what it comprises of, for those of you who don't really know much about map making, which it's kind of a hobby of mine, but I'm starting to really enjoy it. It's unfortunately a lot more work than you would think. But anyway, so to get these maps on here, there was an update. Before, they used to be a separation. The map would only be contained within the item picture frame right here, right? But I think it was 1.7.4 that was released, and you were able to place a map next to another map on a picture frame, and it would be seamless. It would kind of overlap each other, right? So that's how, first of all, that's how you get it to look that way. Uh, which map was it? Sorry, a lot of maps. Anyway, right here. So placing them back on there, and as you can see, it's kind of can't quite notice the seams because of it. But anyway, one weird thing is I need to update it. Somebody's building something up there, so I gotta re-update that. That's why it looks like that. But anyway, there's a good example as to if you mess up, you actually have to do some math, Minecraft math, I like to call it, to actually prevent it from looking like this. So that's not actually the reason why it looks like this in particularly. Every time somebody built a structure there, and I've taken this map out before up top and updated it up to the edge, but I never took this map out. So here's an example. I'm gonna take this map out. And remember, it was kind of, see, now it's updating because I'm within the vicinity, the field of view, and it's gonna update itself. So anybody built something new, you have to update it. A huge example in the last video, you kind of saw my Minas Tirith video tour that I showed you, the last one. You saw me doing that, actually taking a map that already exists and flying around to update it. So if anybody built any new structures or anything, you would have to actually fly around so it captures it within your field of view. So putting that back on, as you can see, it's actually it's updated. So anyway, back to map making. So that's how you do it. You have to get an item picture frame and 3 across top, 3 across bottom, so it's 9. Wow, you really want to trade, don't you? Anyway, so that's 9 picture frames total if you want to make one this size. And you also need 9 empty maps. I have 7 here, so I've been playing around a little more. Let's find out what this is. This... When did I do that? Anyway, I won't worry about it right now. But anyway, so really quick to show you how to make a map. I'm just gonna go to CMart real quick because I have a nice crafting table right here on the side. So if you warp CMart, you'll end up standing here, and I'm just use a crafting table. So to make paper, of course, some of you already know. I'm not gonna insult your intelligence. Just put 3 across horizontally in a row, and that'll get you 3 paper. So I already did that. I got plenty of paper here. So if you first of all, if you want to make, so how do you get a map, an empty map like so, out of paper? Well, first you need to make a compass. So I'll just make 2 compasses here. And make 2 compasses. Then place the compasses in the center and surround it by paper. That will give you your empty maps. So what you need to do next is, by this, hopefully you should already have a place that you've checked out where you would like to map out certain locations, or a certain location you want to map out. Go to that location. One thing I've been actually wanting to do, is a small project on the side, is I want to go map out each biome's like spawn point. So like the plains biome, for example, it's fairly popular, right? It's the first one on the left when you go to warp biomes, and just enter through, and immediately you'll appear in this structure. So one cool thing I want to do is a really cool biome. I'll just fly around real quick so you can see there's plenty of structures, and I feel like it would look really cool to map this whole area out. So keeping in mind what I showed you before, that map that you made, with a compass, an empty map surrounded by paper. Well, first of all, you need to find the center where you would like to be the center of your map. And in more advanced tutorials, this comes map making tutorials that I'll post later. This is a huge necessity, so start getting into the habit. Even though you don't really need to do this for the small little map, I would highly suggest doing this. Pressing F3 and taking a... I would also highly suggest, by the way, having a notepad and pen so you can write down these coordinates. You don't need to be concerned with the Y coordinate because that's the up and down coordinate. Maps, of course, are two-dimensional, so you only need to be concerned with the X and Z coordinates. So I'm at X 1076 and Z coordinate negative 6374. So I'll write that down. This will come in handy later because I'll use this as an example for more advanced tutorials. Anyway, if you want to start mapping out, just immediately go to your map and look at the center block that you want to start mapping from and right click. And as you can see, it pops up. As soon as I whip out the map, it starts populating the area. So this whole area that's populated is within my field of view. If I want to if I want to fill in this area here that's blank, because it's outside my field of view, which is circular, I would have to just start flying over. So as you can see, as I fly over, my field of view fills it in because that's what I can see. So this is a very small basic map, as you can tell. Immediately just go to an empty map after you made it from a compass and just go ahead and right click and start filling it in. So here's where it kind of plays. Here's where it gets a little more advanced. This is a very simple basic map. If you're content with this being your map, I'm not content with this, of course. You could just go to whatever wall, wherever you want to place it, put a picture frame up, and then just place it by right-clicking onto it. I want it bigger, of course. So how do I get it bigger? You need to return to a crafting table. I would do it here, but of course, since it's a spawn point, don't have permission to place crafting table. But I always, whenever I'm out in the field, whatever, mapping anything, I always bring a crafting table. That's a cool tip to have. Every map maker needs to carry his own crafting table. But anyway, let's go back to CMart because I have a crafting table there. And so this map I just created right here, map 1350. How do I zoom out? Place it in the center, take paper, and surround it by paper. And of course, just want to zoom out once. So if I zoom out once, place it here, let's see what that looks like. Alright, so if I look at it, it doesn't populate or anything, right? I need to warp back to biomes. Go back to planes. I should really just create a warp. Anyway, but it's not too bad just walking over. Go back to that little center piece if you want it to be your center still. Just go right here and you don't click or anything. Since it's already your center. I'm just showing you your field of view is smaller, as you can tell. That tells you it zooms out. So later on, I'm not gonna try to confuse you and tell you exactly how many pixels it is, but that comes into next video, which I'll show you, because that's really important. But if you just want one map and just want to keep zooming out, just keep going to your crafting table and placing your map in the center of your crafting table and surrounding it by paper, and it'll just continue zooming out. And I've never really tested out to see how far it is, but there is a point where it's pointless to just zoom out so far because there's no way you can fill an entire map, even if you're able to. But anyway, as you can see, it gets a little more difficult to fill in the map as you continue to zoom out. Now, imagine zooming out so far that it's the size of about a penny if you put it over this cursor, or the size of this cursor and you fly around, which I've done before. It was the size of my crosshairs, my field of view, and I had to fill in a map like that, and that was just incredibly tedious. So that's really the hardest part about making maps is finding the time to do that, to run around. If you can't fly, I would highly suggest getting a horse and saddling it up and just riding because that's fairly quick. But also one thing I'd like to point out, so I still have some space in the northeast to fill in my map. It's outside my field of view. If I don't have my map out and I just fly there, it will not fill itself in. I have to have my map out in order for it to fill in. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So I'll show you an example right now. See, I whipped it out. Now it starts filling in once my map is out. If I don't have my map out, it's not going to fill in on its own. So don't go flying around and wasting a lot of time trying to do that. So anyway, as you can see, I just showed you how to zoom out. So it's a very basic tutorial for those of you who are interested in map making and want to post your work like I did in front of Minas Tirith, right on the wall. This is how you do it. This is how I did it. Well, the way I did it is a little more advanced, which I'll actually show you in later videos. So, but this is a quick beginner's guide to map making for those of you interested, especially in Obsidian Craft. So until next time, next video I will show you how to make bigger maps to make them like 3x3, for example. And I'm probably gonna have to split up into a 2-part video because there's a lot involved into it. Mostly the biggest thing that gets people is math. Trying to find the center coordinate of the next map to the west, the east, the north, the south, northwest, northeast, southwest, and southeast. That's probably the hardest part. And then the other hard part is actually filling it in by flying around depending on how far zoomed out you are. So until next time, hope this tutorial helped out any future map making explorers, future Magellans, or what have you, Lewis and Clark. Lewis and Clark. Got Superman in my mind. Anyway, until next time, guys. Thanks.